Hi there, I'm Peter from Easy Access English, and today we're talking a little bit about pronunciation, especially English words that you might recognise from French. As we've been talking about, English is hugely influenced by the French language, and there are so many different words that we've taken from French and adapted into English. We've been concentrating on looking at how those words are pronounced differently between the two languages. And this video is going to focus on the intonation. Because English is a stressed timed language, the difference in emphasis between syllables in a word can make a huge difference. So if you emphasize your word in a more French way, it can be quite confusing. Let's have a look at some examples. Now this is a really strong example. Adorable in French, okay? It's the intonation that makes such a big difference. Because this is such an expressive adjective, we really emphasize the intonation in English, and it's the second syllable that we emphasize. Adorable. Adorable. Look at that little baby, isn't it adorable? What about this word? Well, a really useful word if you're teaching someone how to use the possessive in English. Apostrophe. Apostrophe. Not only do we add that last syllable at the end of the word, so we pronounce that E at the end, but we put the emphasis on the second syllable, the primary emphasis on the second syllable. Apostrophe. Another word that's similar between English and French but has different intonation and stress is entrepreneur. Entrepreneur. Now in English, we put the emphasis, the primary emphasis on that last syllable, entrepreneur. It's quite rare in English, but we do it with that word. In French, you put the emphasis on the third syllable, whereas in English we've got a secondary emphasis on the first syllable, en, and primary emphasis on that final syllable, entrepreneur. Now let's finish by looking at two false friends between English and French, and the difference in intonation and stress in those two words. Firstly, this word. Now careful, remember this is a false friend, so it doesn't mean sensible. To be sensible is rather to be reasonable, and to make a reasonable and wise decision. Okay? But pay attention to the intonation and stress. Sensible. In French you put very strong stress on that second syllable, whereas in English, sensible. Sensible, that primary stress, strong primary stress on that first syllable. And it can be quite difficult to understand if you say sensible. And now let's finish with one more example, another false friend, this word. Chauffeur in English. Chauffeur. You see a very strong emphasis on that first syllable. Okay, why is this a false friend? Well, the meaning is very similar between English and French. In French it's a general driver, but chauffeur is a professional driver, probably someone driving a very rich person, maybe in a limousine, a chauffeur, a professional private driver. Thank you for looking at those examples with me. I hope that helps. Remember, pay attention to your stress and intonation, and not only your pronunciation, when you're looking at words that are similar between French and English or with a similar spelling, because if you get that stress and intonation wrong, it can be quite confusing. Okay? Have fun practicing and see you soon. Bye.